my daughter stole $15,000 from me to buy her father-in-law a yacht vacation. What she gave me for Father's Day still haunts me every single night. The rain hammered against the garage windows as I wiped the grease from my hands. Marcus Rivera, that's me, 62 years old, still working 12-hour days fixing other people's luxury cars while driving a rusted '98 Honda myself. But I never complained. Every blister, every aching joint, every missed meal, it was all for Bella. Isabella, my sunshine, my only child after Maria died giving birth to her. "Happy Father's Day, Dad!" Bella's voice cut through the garage noise that Sunday morning. She stood there in her designer dress, the one I had seen cost $800 at Nordstrom. Her husband Jason lingered by their Tesla, checking his phone. "Mija, you didn't have to come," I said, pulling her into a hug, careful not to stain her clothes with my work-worn hands. "Of course I did. Here," she pressed something into my palm. "A lottery ticket. $3. Gas station logo still fresh. And look what we got Richard." She held up her phone, showing a booking confirmation. "A $15,000 Mediterranean yacht cruise. 7 countries, Dad. He's always dreamed of it." My chest tightened. 15,000. That number burned because I recognized it, the exact amount I'd saved for my knee surgery, the account she had emergency access to. "Bella, how did you pay for—" "Oh, Dad, don't be dramatic. It's family money, right? Besides," she laughed, that tinkling sound that used to mean everything to me. "When that lottery ticket wins, you'll split it with us anyway. That's what family does." Jason honked the Tesla's horn. "Babe, we're going to be late for brunch with my parents." She kissed my cheek quickly. "Love you, Dad. Check those numbers tonight." As their car disappeared into the rain, I stood there holding $3 worth of hope while my surgery fund had vanished into the Mediterranean. My hands shook, not from age, but from a pain sharper than any physical wound. Take just 1 second to subscribe, because everyone deserves to know they're not alone in their heartbreak. Your support means someone's story gets heard. That night, I couldn't bring myself to check the ticket. It sat on my kitchen table next to the photo of Maria holding baby Bella. In the picture, I'm promising my dying wife I'll give our daughter everything. I kept that promise. Private schools while I ate ramen, college tuition while I delayed surgery, wedding costs while my roof leaked. The lottery drawing played on the old TV. My numbers came up one by one. First number, match. Second, match. Third, fourth, fifth, match, match, match. Powerball, 27. I stared at my ticket. 27. The room spun. The announcer's voice seemed distant. "Tonight's jackpot, $143 million. My phone buzzed. Bella. "Dad, did you check? Remember, family shares everything." Everything except respect, apparently. I won $143 million. But first, I had to confront the daughter who robbed me. Monday morning arrived with 37 missed calls from Bella. I hadn't slept. The ticket sat in my kitchen safe. Yes, the one Bella didn't know about. The one I bought after she borrowed my emergency fund 3 times without asking. She arrived at 6 a.m., pounding on my door. "Dad! Dad! I know you're in there!" I opened it to find her with Jason and, surprisingly, Richard Chen himself, the man who received my surgery money as a gift. "Did you win?" Bella's eyes were wild, desperate. No good morning, no how are you feeling. "We need to talk about the $15,000 first," I said quietly. Richard's eyebrows rose. $15,000? "The cruise, Richard. Bella bought it with money from my surgery account." The silence stretched like a taut wire. Richard's face went pale, then red. This man, who I'd met exactly twice, had been sailing on my medical funds. "Bella," Richard's voice was ice. "It's family money," she protested. "Dad never minded before." "Because I was dying inside each time but couldn't say no to you. Your mother made me promise to give you everything, but she never meant for you to take everything." Jason stepped forward. "Look, Marcus, we'll pay you back from the lottery winnings." "My lottery winnings?" I asked.
From the ticket you gave me?" "We bought it," Bella snapped, "with our money." "With $3 after stealing $15,000. "I didn't steal," Bella screamed. "You gave me access. For emergencies, not yacht cruises for your in-laws while I can barely walk from bone-on-bone arthritis." Richard pulled out his checkbook. "Marcus, I'm mortified. I'm writing you a check right now. I don't want your money, Richard. I wanted my daughter to respect me enough to ask." Bella grabbed my arm. "Dad, please. You don't understand the pressure I'm under. The Chens they're important people. I needed to impress them. You always said you wanted me to marry well." "I wanted you to marry someone who loved you for you, not someone whose family needs $15,000 gifts to accept you." "How dare you?" Jason stepped forward, but Richard held him back. "She's right, Jason," Richard said quietly. "If we made her feel she needed to steal to impress us, we're the problem." But Bella wasn't listening. She was typing furiously on her phone. "Fine, if you won't share, everyone will know what kind of father you really are." Within minutes, my phone exploded. Facebook, Instagram, text from numbers I didn't recognize. "Local woman betrayed by millionaire father. He won't share with the daughter who bought the ticket. Greed tears Oregon family apart." Her post had gone viral in our small town within an hour. 3,000 shares. My customers started calling, canceling appointments. My neighbor avoided eye contact. But the worst part? The photo she used was from her wedding. Me dancing with her, tears of joy on my face, captioned, "This man taught me family comes first, until money mattered more." The same man who'd worked 3 jobs to pay for that wedding was now painted as a monster. The lottery ticket felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds.
My daughter posted our family business online. Within 3 hours, I lost everything except $143 million I couldn't even claim yet. Tuesday morning, the garage was empty. Not a single car. 40 years of building trust destroyed by one Facebook post. Tom Bradley, my longest customer, called personally. "Marcus, I'm sorry, but my wife, she says I can't support someone who'd abandon his daughter over money." "Tom, you've known me 20 years. You know that's not." The line went dead. I sat in my empty garage, surrounded by tools that had no purpose anymore. My phone buzzed constantly, reporters, distant relatives suddenly interested in my well-being, and strangers calling me everything from hero to villain. Then came the text that shattered what remained of my heart. "Bella, Dad, if you don't give me half by tomorrow, I'm telling everyone about Mom." About Mom? About Maria's depression, about the pills, about the truth we'd hidden to protect her memory, that her death wasn't from childbirth complications alone. My daughter was weaponizing her mother's mental illness. The doorbell rang. I expected another reporter, but found Richard Chen standing there, holding a box of my belongings from Bella's house. "She asked me to return these," he said softly. "Marcus, I need you to know, I had no idea about any of this. The money, the ticket, none of it." Inside the box, every Father's Day card I'd made her since kindergarten. The watch I'd given her for graduation, my father's watch. Photos of us from every stage of her life, all returned like evidence of a crime. "She's erasing me," I whispered. Richard sat on my porch step, this millionaire in his $1,000 suit sitting on my cracked concrete. "My son called off work today. He's devastated. Says if Bella could do this to you, what might she do to him?" "She loves Jason. She loves what Jason represents. Just like that cruise represented something to her. Status, acceptance." Richard looked older suddenly. I built my fortune thinking money would protect my family. Instead, it attracted people who saw my son as a lottery ticket too. If you've ever been erased by someone you raised, you know this hollow feeling. Please share this story. Not for me, but for every parent who needs to know their pain is valid. That subscribe button isn't just support, it's proof the truth still matters to someone. That evening, Bella appeared on local news, sitting in her perfect living room, tears streaming down her face. She'd learned that from watching her mother,
The performative grief. "He was my hero," she told the reporter. "I bought that ticket with the last money in my wallet, hoping to change his life. Now he won't even answer my calls." They didn't mention the $15,000, didn't mention the surgery. The narrative was set. Ungrateful father abandons loving daughter over lottery winnings. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Mr. Rivera, this is Patricia Walsh from the State Lottery Commission. We'll need to discuss your ticket." "Is there a problem?" "Sir, there's been a claim filed suggesting the ticket was purchased as a gift with conditions. We'll need to investigate before releasing any funds." Bella had filed a legal claim. How long will this take? Could be months, maybe longer if it goes to court. I hung up and sat in darkness. Won the lottery, but couldn't claim it. Lost my daughter, but couldn't forget her. Had $143 million, but couldn't buy surgery. I thought I'd lost everything until Richard Chen knocked on my door at midnight with something that would destroy his own son's marriage. The pounding woke me from the first sleep I'd had in days. Richard Chen stood there, rain-soaked, holding an iPad. "You need to hear this," he said. We sat at my kitchen table, the same one where I'd taught Bella multiplication, where we'd eaten frozen dinners after Maria died, where she'd told me about Jason's proposal. Richard hit play on a voice recording. "Baby, he definitely has it, the ticket. We just need to keep the pressure on." Bella's voice. "How much did you actually take from his account?" Jason. 15 grand, but if we get half the lottery, that's nothing. We can pay off the house, buy that boat you wanted." "What about your dad?" "What about him? He's old. He doesn't need millions. We have our whole lives ahead of us." Bella, this is fucked up. "No, what's fucked up is him living in that dump while sitting on our future. I gave him that ticket. Legally, morally, it's half mine." "You gave him a $3 ticket after stealing." "Don't call it stealing. God, you sound like him. Weak." The recording ended. Richard's hands trembled. "My son sent this to me an hour ago. They're getting divorced." "Richard, and sorry." "Don't be. Better he learns now what she is." He stood. "I've already called the Lottery Commission, told them about the recording, the theft, everything. And Marcus," he pulled out a check. "This is for $15,000, not charity, payment for a debt my family inadvertently incurred." "I can't." "You will, because unlike my soon-to-be ex-daughter-in-law, you have dignity." The next morning, everything exploded. Jason Chen posted the recording online with the simple caption, "The truth about the lottery ticket." Within hours, the narrative flipped. The comment sections that had crucified me now turned on Bella. Her Facebook page flooded with anger from people who donated to her GoFundMe. Yes, she'd started a GoFundMe for legal fees to fight my father's greed. She called me 17 times that morning. The 18th, I answered. "How could you let him do this to me?" she sobbed. "I didn't do anything, Bella. The truth did." "I'm getting divorced. My life is ruined." "Your life isn't ruined. Your image is. There's a difference." "You're enjoying this." "No, mija. I'm heartbroken. I wanted to give you everything except my self-respect. You wanted that too." "I hate you." "I know, but I love you. I'll always love the little girl who made me Father's Day cards from construction paper, who called me her hero, who existed before you decided I was just an ATM with feelings you could manipulate." "Dad," her voice cracked, and for a moment I heard my daughter again. "Dad, I'm sorry. I got caught up. The Chens, their lifestyle. I just wanted to belong." "I know. But you belonged with me first, and that wasn't enough. Can we fix this?" I looked at the returned photos scattered on my table. The Lottery Commission will release my winnings next week. I'm going to claim them, alone. What happens after that depends on whether you want a father or a bank account. What does that mean? It means you get nothing until you want nothing. When you can look me in the eye without calculating percentages, we can talk. She hung up. That night, someone left flowers on my porch. No note, but I recognized the handwriting on the tag. Tom Bradley's wife, the woman who demanded her husband stop coming to my garage. People love redemption stories more than crucifixions. They just need permission to switch sides.
I walked into the lottery office as a broken father and walked out as the richest man who'd ever felt so poor. Wednesday, claim day. I wore my only suit, the one from Bella's wedding. Seemed fitting, since that was the last day I'd felt whole. The lottery office in Salem buzzed with activity. Patricia Walsh met me with a smile that said she'd seen the recordings. "Mr. Rivera, congratulations. After our investigation, the ticket is legally and completely yours." "What about Bella's claim?" "Dropped this morning. Her lawyer advised it was unwinnable after recent revelations." The check felt surreal. $143 million. After taxes, roughly $71 million. More money than I'd ever comprehend. "Most winners are happy," Patricia observed. "You look like you're attending a funeral." "I am. The funeral of who my daughter used to be." Outside, reporters waited. I'd prepared a statement. "I'm Marcus Rivera. I won the lottery. I'm also a father who failed somewhere along the way. This money will be used responsibly. That's all." But one reporter shouted, "What about Bella?" I stopped, turned. "What about her? Will you share the winnings?" "I've shared everything with my daughter for 32 years. My time, my health, my dreams, my dignity. The only thing I'm not sharing anymore is my willingness to be disrespected." That soundbite went viral within hours. I drove to Bella's house, former house. Jason's moving truck sat outside. He was loading boxes when he saw me. "Marcus, I'm sorry about. You have nothing to apologize for." He looked relieved but broken. "She's inside. Been crying for 3 days." I found her in the empty living room, surrounded by boxes labeled with my handwriting. I'd helped them move in 2 years ago. "Come to gloat?" she asked, without looking up. "Come to give you something." I placed an envelope beside her. Inside was a check for $50,000 and a letter. Before you judge what happens next, remember, every parent watching knows this pain. If you've ever loved someone who broke you, please hit subscribe. Not for the algorithm, but because stories like this remind us we're not alone in our heartbreak. She read it out loud. "Bella, this is the cost of your mother's funeral, your education, and your wedding. Every penny I spent that came from loans I'm still paying. This makes us even financially. What makes us even emotionally may take a lifetime. The door is open when you're ready to walk through it as my daughter, not my creditor. Love, Dad." "50,000? She laughed bitterly. "Out of 71 million? It's what you cost me in dollars. You cost me more in everything else, but that can't be repaid." "I'm your daughter." "Yes, and I'm your father. Not your bank, not your victim, not your convenience. Your father. When you remember what that means, you know where to find me." I left her there with the check. She could cash it or tear it up, her choice, like everything else had been. That night, I bought a new truck. Nothing fancy, just reliable. The salesman recognized me from the news. Must feel good, all that money. Money feels like paper. Respect feels like breathing. I couldn't breathe for 32 years. Now I can. The check from Bella cleared 2 days later. At least she was practical in her heartlessness. But then came the text that nearly broke my resolve. "Dad, I'm pregnant. 3 months. I just found out. Please don't let my baby grow up without a grandfather." A grandchild? The ultimate manipulation or the ultimate olive branch?
I couldn't tell anymore. She used her unborn baby as a weapon. What she didn't expect was for me to show up at her door with adoption papers. 3 months pregnant. The timing was too convenient, too cruel. Another card to play in her game. I didn't respond for a week. Instead, I did what I'd always done. Worked. Bought the old Peterson auto shop downtown, renamed it Second Chances Garage, hired 5 mechanics who'd been laid off, paid them double the going rate. "Why are you doing this?" asked Miguel, one of my new hires. "Because money without purpose is just fancy paper." Then Bella appeared at the shop, visibly pregnant now, tears streaming. The employees scattered. Everyone knew our story. "Dad, please, I'm scared." Jason left. "The Chens won't speak to me. I have nothing." "You have $50,000 and a baby coming." "I need my father." "No, you need my money. There's a difference." She pulled out ultrasound photos. "A boy, my grandson." "Don't you want to meet him?" "More than anything, but not as your ATM, as his grandfather." "What do you want from me?" she screamed. "I apologized." "No, you got caught. You apologized for being exposed, not for the betrayal." I pulled out a folder. "These are adoption papers. Sign them, and I'll raise your son with all the love I gave you before you decided it wasn't enough." Her face went white. "You want to take my baby?" "No. I want to save him from becoming what you became, from learning that love is transaction, that family is finance, that fathers exist to be drained." "You're insane." "I'm tired, Bella. Tired of loving someone who sees me as a resource. Your son deserves better." This is where I need you to understand something. If this story moves you, if you feel that ache in your chest, please share it. Subscribe, not for me, but for every grandparent cut off from grandchildren because their kids learned to weaponize love. Your support makes their silence heard. She left with the papers, and I expected never to see her again. 2 weeks later, Richard Chen called. She's living in her car. She had $50,000. Had. She spent it trying to maintain appearances. "Marcus, I'm not calling for her. I'm calling for my grandson." "Your grandson?" "Like it or not, that baby is my blood too. And Jason's, though he's too hurt to see it now." That night, I found her in the Walmart parking lot, sleeping in a Honda Civic with designer bags piled in the back. The image broke something in me, not for who she was, but for who she'd been. The little girl who'd slept in my arms after nightmares. I knocked on the window. She jolted awake, saw me, and started sobbing. "I'm not signing the papers." "I know. But I need help." "I know that too." I handed her keys. "Apartment 4B at Riverside Complex. Paid for 1 year. There's a trust fund for the baby, accessible only for his needs, not yours. You get a job, you get therapy, you prove you can be a mother without being a manipulator, and we'll discuss the future." "Why?" "Because that baby didn't choose you any more than I did, but we're both stuck loving you anyway." She moved in that night, got a job at Target within a week, her first real job ever, started therapy, sent me updates about the baby, nothing else. The boundaries were killing both of us, but they were keeping us alive too. Then, at 7 months pregnant, she called at 2 a.m. "Dad, something's wrong." The baby was coming early. I met her at the hospital, held her hand through 18 hours of labor. When my grandson arrived, tiny, fighting, perfect, she looked at me with eyes I hadn't seen in years. "I'm sorry, Dad. Really sorry. Not for getting caught. For becoming someone who needed to be caught." "I know, mija." I named him Marcus, after the only man who really loved me. Little Marcus grabbed my finger with his whole hand. In that moment, $71 million meant nothing compared to that grip. I had $71 million, a new grandson, and terminal cancer. Only one of those three could actually kill me. 6 months after little Marcus was born, I got the diagnosis. Stage 3 pancreatic cancer. The surgery I'd delayed for years wouldn't have caught it. Bitter irony that Bella stealing that money might have saved me from false hope. 6 months to a year, the oncologist said. I'm sorry, Mr. Rivera. I laughed. Actually laughed. I've got $71 million and 6 months to spend it. But I didn't want to spend it. I wanted to invest it. In moments, in memories, in the mother Bella was becoming. She'd surprised everyone, working doubles at Target while raising Marcus, going to therapy twice a week. She'd even returned the designer bags, lived simply, proved she could exist without luxury. When I told her about the cancer, she didn't ask about inheritance. We're going to fight this, she said. No, I'm going to live what's left. You're going to let me. I bought the building next to my garage, turned it into Marcus's place, a free daycare for single parents who worked multiple jobs. Hired qualified staff, paid them excellently. Why? Bella asked, watching me interview caregivers. Because 32 years ago, I worked 3 jobs and had nowhere safe to leave you. You stayed with whoever would watch you. Maybe if you'd had stability then... Don't blame yourself for who I became. I'm not. I'm taking responsibility for who your son becomes. If you're still watching, you understand that legacy isn't money. It's what money builds. Please subscribe and share this story. Someone needs to hear that it's never too late to rebuild bridges, even when the foundation is cracked. Richard Chen visited weekly, bringing Jason eventually. The divorce was final, but Jason wanted his son in his life. I loved her, Jason told me one evening, but she loved the idea of me more. She's learning the difference now. And she was. Slowly, painfully, Bella was becoming someone new. Or maybe someone old. The daughter I'd lost to ambition and materialism. One night, she brought Marcus to my house. My new house. Nothing fancy, just warm. Dad, I've been thinking about the lottery ticket. Don't. No, listen. You winning was the worst thing that happened to me, and the best. Worst because it revealed who I'd become. Best because it forced me to change. The money didn't change you, Bella. No. Losing you did. The money just made it clear I'd already lost you long before. Little Marcus crawled across my floor, babbling happily. 6 months old and already showing his mother's determination, his grandfather's stubbornness. I want to give you something, I said, pulling out documents. Half the remaining money goes in a trust you can't access, but Marcus can when he's 25. The other half goes to the daycare, the garage, and families like ours. Dad, no. It was never about the money, mija. It was about respect. You've earned that back. She cried then. Real tears, not the performed ones from her Facebook videos. I don't deserve. No one deserves anything. We earn or we don't. You've earned your way back to being my daughter. That's worth more than millions. The cancer moved faster than predicted. 4 months instead of 6. But those 4 months were fuller than the previous 4 years. Bella quit her second job to spend days with me. We fixed cars together. I taught her everything I knew. She was terrible at it, but tried so hard. Grease under her manicured nails, designer jeans ruined by oil. I'm proud of you, I told her one afternoon, watching her wrestle with the carburetor. For fixing cars? For fixing yourself. The last good day, we sat on my porch. Little Marcus played between us. The sunset painted everything gold. Dad, that lottery ticket. Best $3 you ever spent? No. Worst, but the best lesson. What lesson? That love isn't measured in dollars. It's measured in presence. And I was absent, even when I was there. I reached for her hand. She squeezed it. I'm here now, Dad. I know, mija. I know.
I died with $71 million, but lived my last days as the richest man in the world because my daughter finally came home. The end came on a Tuesday. Fitting, since Bella was born on a Tuesday. Life has its patterns. Bella was there, holding one hand, little Marcus in her other arm. Richard and Jason by the door, my unlikely family, forged by betrayal and rebuilt with forgiveness. Tell me about Mom, Bella whispered. The truth this time. So I did. About Maria's depression, her struggles, how she fought mental illness while loving us both, how her death was heartbreak and heroism combined, choosing to stay alive long enough to deliver Bella, knowing the stress would kill her. She chose me? Bella's voice broke. Every day. Even the last one. I threw that away. Everything you both sacrificed, I threw it away for a cruise. No. You threw it away long before that. The cruise was just when I couldn't pretend anymore. I'm sorry, Dad. I know. And I forgive you. But more importantly, I touched little Marcus's head. Don't let him make your mistakes. He won't, I promise. Promises are easy, mija. Living them is hard. Those were my last coherent words. If you've stayed until the end, you understand that forgiveness isn't weakness. It's the ultimate strength. Please share Marcus's story. Subscribe not just to a channel, but to the belief that people can change, that love can survive betrayal, that the smallest gifts can carry the biggest lessons. Someone needs to hear this today. Be the reason they do. Epilogue. Bella's voice. My father died on a Tuesday. Marcus Rivera. Mechanic. Millionaire. But most importantly, the man who taught me that winning the lottery can cost you everything and losing everything can make you rich. The lottery ticket is framed in my son's nursery, not as a celebration of wealth, but as a reminder of the price of greed. Next to it hangs a photo, Dad teaching little Marcus to hold a wrench, both of them covered in garage grease, both laughing. I run the daycare now. The garage too, though I'm still terrible at fixing cars. Miguel and the guys keep it running, but I'm there every day, learning, trying, becoming the person my father believed I could be before I proved him wrong. Jason and I are co-parenting, not reconciling. Some things break beyond repair. But we're both committed to raising Marcus differently, teaching him that money is a tool, not a goal, that family isn't a bank account, that respect isn't optional. Richard helps with the foundation Dad established. We've sent 17 kids to college, helped 43 families avoid foreclosure, and kept the daycare free for anyone who needs it. The money is almost gone now. Dad would be proud. He always said fortune wasn't what you had, but what you did with it. That $3 lottery ticket destroyed our family, then rebuilt it into something stronger, something real. Every Father's Day I buy a lottery ticket, not to play. I never scratch them off. Instead, I leave them on Dad's grave with a note. Thank you for the losing ticket that helped me win everything that matters. My father was right about one thing. I belonged with him first. It just took me losing him twice to understand that belonging somewhere doesn't mean taking everything from it. It means giving everything to it.
And finally, I learned to give.